Honorable members, Mr. Speaker,
All right, you may resume your seat. Today is another day, but it's unfortunate most of our students, our youth members are students, and this is the peak of academic activities, and due to that, majority of them are not able to join us here today. Before we begin, honorable members, prayers, may we all be upstanding. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favor upon this parliament of the youth government system of the IYNUNSRC2250. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the youth president and his youth ministers. Endow youth members of parliament with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labors of this international youth network, the interests and wishes of the members may be well and duly served, and thy good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision for our network, fair it as it might be, a network of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a network of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a network of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a network of peace, where the youth government shall rest on the will of its members and the love for the common good. Bless the effort of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of the youth government system of the IYNUNSRC 2250. Ghana and Africa. Amen. You resume your seat. Honorable members, it's time for swearing in of youth MPs. All youth MPs should be upstanding as you take the oath of office. You repeat after me. I, having been appointed into the office as of International Youth Network for UN Security Council Resolution 2250, do in the name of the Almighty God swear that I shall be faithful and truthful to the network. I shall protect, preserve, and defend the constitution of the network. So help me God. Congratulations, honorable members. You may resume your seat. Honorable members, announcement of leadership of the parliament. We have Honorable Akudugu Sumaila Fisher as the first deputy speaker. We have Irene Swanika as the second deputy speaker. Honorable. We have Joseph Kwesin as the majority chief whip by acting majority leader. We have Honorable Isaac Etonam, minority leader. We have Honorable Emmanuel Akomia, majority deputy chief whip, acting majority deputy leader. We have Honorable Emmanuel Buachi, deputy minority leader. The clerk's table, we have Miss Angela Na Dromo Benson as the clerk of the house. Then Miss Eiram Boafo as the deputy clerk. All right. Congratulations to you all. The third item on the list, honorable members, is the adoption of the order paper. May we have a mover of the motion for the adoption of today's order paper? Majority bench. May we get an honorable member who will move the motion for the adoption of the order paper?
Right, Honorable Speaker, my best friend, Honorable Minority. A very good afternoon. As we have got to comment, we'd like to adopt the order of the paper. Thank you.
All right.
I move that the order paper be adopted. Thank you.
All right. Any seconder from minority bench?
Thank you very much, the wisest chair and the House. I only want to make a proposal. By convention, we would have had the opportunity for honorable members to introduce themselves even before we get into the other businesses as we do have on the order paper, and that is by convention. But, Mr. Speaker, as it is not captured on this order paper that the majority brought to us, I'll only plead with you that you allow, and in fact, Mr. Speaker, the majority leader just cross-carpeted, but I'll pretend I didn't see that. I'll only plead that you guide the House for honorable members, as and when giving the opportunity to address us, mention their names so we can address them properly by convention. That said, I'd like to support the motion moved by the able acting majority leader that this order paper be adopted. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Duly noted. Now, the question is that this House do now adopt the order paper. Those in favor, say aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The fourth item, before we move on to the fourth item, like the minority leader rightfully said, during the debate sections, if you want to make a statement, you first of all introduce yourself, your name, and your constituency, so that members of the House can address you properly. The fourth item is the motion before the House, which states that young people must be allowed on decision-making table. Young people must be allowed on decision-making table. A mover for that motion. The motion before the House is that young people must be allowed on decision-making table. Any mover? Hello, honorable member. Kindly move the motion for us. All right. You can proceed.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Honorable Joseph Quickton, the Youth MP for Ahanta West constituency. Right Honorable Speaker, the motion before this August House today is one of the most deliberative one and interesting one for that matter. And we, the majority, we are well prepared for today's debate because the youth as the anchor or the backbone of a nation cannot be left behind when there is a great decision or when there is when we are making decisions for them. You can't be left behind when you want to decide something for me. So for that matter, I would like us to move the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member. Any seconder?
I know that every young person is wondering. We know that majority is always for the motion, the minority is against the motion, and that we have a motion before us that says that young persons be allowed at the decision-making table, and the minority is here to oppose it. If that is what you are thinking, it's unfortunate for you, but fortunately for me, we are here vehemently to oppose that motion. Young people must not be allowed on decision-making table. That is our stance as minority, and just so we don't waste much time, I'd like to second the motion that this be debated thoroughly, and by the end of the day, we believe that the minority is able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that yes, indeed, young people do not have to be allowed at the decision-making table. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you, honorable minority leader. Motion duly moved and seconded. Before we begin with the debate, I would like us to take an opening statement from the majority leader of the House.
Thank you, Right
Honorable member, before you proceed, anytime your members make statements, you have to, in response, in agreement or disagreement, say yeah, or no. But it seems the honorable minority leader came here spoke. his caucus members were quiet. All right, you may proceed.
Right, Honorable Speaker. This even shows that they have already lost the debate. Because they don't know why they are here. They have already lost the debate. So, my opening statement for this debate means the youth must be allowed in decision making. You see, every nation depends on its youth. Every nation, as long as it is a nation, and if we want to pick Ghana as a country that we are in, that we have the majority of our people being a youth, we can't be left out in decision making. Now, why should we be allowed? That is the question. Why should we be allowed to participate? The motion said that we must be allowed to participate in the decision making. Why? The first thing I would like to talk about is that the youth, we are the majority stakeholders in the future. The future of Ghana depends on we, the youth. What we, the youth, can bring up today is what will bring the future of the nation. So for that matter, everything that the nation is planning, everything that our leaders are planning concerning the nation, concerning us as the people within this nation, we can't leave the youth out. We can't say because they are youth, they are energetic. For that matter, they are so emotional. So out of their emotions, they can't make correct decisions. Nobody said that. No, you can't even say that, because every decision that is being even chosen with emotions exceed better. I want to let us know that the decision making today about our education, our employment, our climate change, our governance will live as young as, and for that matter, for the youth must be considered and must be allowed on the decision table. Also, we will say that the youth, we have the fresh ideas. The youth, we have the fresh, we bring the renovation. All the innovative acts that we are seeing today is as a result of the youth. We can now talk about Kantanka and other stuff. He began as a youth, and look at what he was able to bring out. So if the youth today are given the opportunity on a decision-making platforms or on the decision table, the youth will be able to contribute very much in our development. Now, we can also talk about our current finance minister, who is a very young, energetic man. And look at the way the nation is now stable and things are running smoothly. It is as a result of bringing a youth into a decision making. And for that, I will thank you. I will leave it here because I know the minority, they have nothing to say. For this one, they have nothing to say. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Honorable Member. All right, so it's time for us to take an opening statement from the minority leader.
It's interesting when the majority side decides to do your work for you and raises points that backs your position rather than focusing on advancing their own points and making their argument. Ladies, well, honorable members, forgive me. Let me remind us again that the motion before us is young people must be allowed on decision-making tables. I pause for a second so that can sing. Young people must be allowed on decision-making table. And I am surprised, a motion that the majority brought to us, the business committee, under the chairmanship of the majority, brought to this house, they are not able to expatiate the motion before us, so we are able to understand the motion first of all, and then able to follow up in the arguments that they make. When we talk about young people, we know the ages 15 to 35 defined. That is settled. But the real question that we have to ask ourselves as young people, as far as this motion is concerned, is the fact that when we talk about decision-making table and that the young person should be allowed at the table, who created the table? If it is not you, because obviously if it were you, you wouldn't be clamoring and crying out loud to be allowed at that table. So, if you did not create the table, who created it? What does it take for that table to be created and you are here crying out loud to be allowed at it? So, the big question is, who created that table? Does the young person understand and knows what it takes for that table to be created, let alone be asking to be allowed a seat at that table? Our position as minority is simple and clear. The future does not belong to young people who are crying as babies to be allowed seats at the table. Thomas Sankara did not sit down crying to be allowed a seat at the table. And I am enthused that you talked about Kantanka. He didn't cry to be allowed a seat at the table. He took the initiative and created the table. And so as young people, instead of sitting quietly, sitting down and crying for older generations to allow us a seat at the table, it is time. Young people must rise up, take charge, and create their own tables. Because if you tell me that we are innovative in this generation, this AI generation, technology is taking over the world, and we claim that we understand it better, we have the better ideas, and we are the best innovative individuals, carry your innovation into creating the table. Just like you talked about Kantanka. Sami Jemfi, for instance, today he's CEO of Gold Board. He didn't beg to be allowed a seat at the table. He started putting himself forward, giving out what he can, growing himself, investing in himself. Today he is at the table, not because he begged for it, not because anybody allowed him, but because he created it and carried himself worthily to that table. Our point is simple, honorable members. This is not the time for young people to be crying out loud to be allowed at the table. Get up, create your own. Create your own. And before I round up, let me just round up quickly. You talked about the finance minister. Finance Minister Dr. Kesiala Forcing. I am not in a position to even know whether he's a young person, but because you mentioned it, assuming that he's young within the definitions that we have, he didn't beg to be at the table. He didn't beg. Nobody allowed him. He was qualified. He invested in himself. And just to let you know that he's a chartered accountant, went for school for it, trained himself to that position, and qualified for where he is. He didn't sit down and cry to be allowed at the table. Honorable members, if the young people of today will take up any position at the decision-making table, it is time for you to be innovative enough to know that the table that you seek a seat at is already occupied with things that you think cannot affect this generation properly. And I am talking about technology. If that table is there and you think that it is outdated, we say that our old people are outdated, they don't know technology, they don't understand AI, yet the table they have created, we want a seat at it. Create your own table, take up the future, and make your life worth emulating. The position of the minority still stands that the young people of today are not asking to be allowed. We are not asking for permission. We are rising, creating our own table and making our own decision, carrying the older generation with us while we take our countries and our communities to a greater level, because you will be a great disadvantage and a disservice, embarrassment to the country if you are crying out aloud to be allowed a seat at the table, yet you stand up and sing the song, "Arise Ghana Youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion." Then you are not qualified to sing that song. If you are qualified to sing that song, get up, create the table. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member. Now the floor is open for debate. If you are ready to make your point, you draw my attention, then I will invite you to make your statement. Okay, you have 5 minutes to make your statement. All right. You introduce yourself before you make your statement. Your name, your constituency, because the clerk table is taking records of everything. Okay?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Emmanuel Kumia, Youth MP for Asante Achim North Constituency.
Louder, honorable member. Speak louder.
My name is Emmanuel Kumia, Youth MP for Asante Achim North Constituency. Mr. Speaker, our opponent may argue that young people lack experience. But, Mr. Speaker, we all know that experience is important. But it's not only the requirement for making good decisions. Wisdom grows through participation. So if young people are never given the opportunity to contribute, how would they gain the experience everyone expects them to have? Mr. Speaker, history has shown that many young people have made remarkable contribution to society through leadership, science, entrepreneurship, and social change. These achievements prove that age should not be a barrier to a meaningful participation. Mr. Speaker, involving young people in decision-making leads to better ideas, stronger leadership, and a more inclusive society. Mr. Speaker, youth participation strengthens democracy. A society is more inclusive when everyone, including young people, has the opportunity to express their views. Decisions made with input from the youth are often more balanced because they reflect the needs of all generations. Mr. Speaker, involving young people in decision-making leads to better ideas. For these reasons, I strongly support the motion that youth must take part in decision-making. Thank you.
All right, thank you, honorable member. Minority bench. Any indication?
Mr. Speaker, thank you. The House. We all can agree to the fact that today's motion is actually a motion of concern to our national development. And we cannot give to chance just for the benefit of age. For this reason, I would like to let the majority side know that they actually started on a very wrong path.
Kindly introduce yourself, honorable member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Emmanuel Usubuache, the Youth MP for Swami constituency in Ashanti region of Ghana, and a deputy minority leader of this noble house. We'd like to take this very motion from the standpoint of responsibility. This decision-making is actually a responsibility that we do not take it for granted, in a sense that this house is actually not a training center. The training center to understand that we do not give people the opportunity just because they are craving for it. We give people the opportunity because they have the capacity, they have the capability and the ability to execute every task that has been assigned to do. So we want to let the majority side know that in this very analogy, do we decide if a mother in Kumasi, where I come from, can afford kinky tomorrow? That is from the responsibility aspect. Or do we decide if a loan will burden our children for the next 30 years? Are we going to decide on that? No. Why? Because the seat ought to be given to people that have the capacity, the ability, they've trained themselves for quite a number of years to be able to execute whatever they are being tasked to do. This is why we, the minority side, do not just crave that opportunity or responsibility should be given to people that are just craving for it, but people who had already built something for themselves. They have a track record that could speak for them anytime they are being called upon to deliberate on issues of concern. In that respect, the minority side would want to say that decision-making table is not a platform where you deliberate matters of trivialities. No, it is actually a platform where decisions of national interest are made. It is a platform where you sign a national budget. It is a platform where we build and determine the lives of over 34 million Ghanaians, home and abroad. For this reason, we definitely, and I reiterate, we cannot afford to give chance to people just because they want opportunity. Of course not. So with all due respect, Mr. Speaker, the majority side, I want to bring to your attention that decision-making is a very big responsibility, and you should have the capacity before it can be given unto you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Majority Leader. Noted. Majority Leader, if you have concerns, when the floor is given, you do that. All right. Honorable Member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, you are the wisest. The House. Listening to the minority speak, I thought the minority leader's speech was bad till I heard the deputy minority leader speak. It is very clear that their coherence is lost, and so you need some time to reiterate and come up with strong points. I was very disappointed to come to the realization that the minority side does not understand the topic that the chair of the business committee put across. We're saying that the youth must be allowed to be on the decision-making table. Here, a table has already been set. You do not come and give us a delusional idea of a world where you can create your table. Yes, when we come to youth empowerment
Honorable
and all
Member,
that, it is fine.
kindly introduce yourself. They are
Okay.
taking
I apologize.
minutes.
My name is Honorable Rachel Kafuyasari, MP for Ayawaso West. Going back to what I was saying, a table has already been created. Everywhere we're looking at the realities of life. We know that the older generations are the ones in power. And so as young people, we need to, what did the man said? We beg and cry. Nobody is begging here. We are simply asking. We are simply asking for what should be done. Nobody is crying. When you say we are crying, you are feeding into the narrative that young people are emotion. And per statistics and research, emotion does not diminish with age. From young to old, emotion exists. And so when you say that we are begging and crying, you are painting the young people as emotional. And I am disappointed to hear this from a minority leader who falls in the youth bracket. We are asking to be on a table to effect change on things that directly affect us. And so let us keep that in mind. The table has already been created. Let us make sure that we are given a seat that belongs to us, because the older generation cannot make decisions alone. They do have the experience, yes, but they do not have lived experience. But they have experience from what has been going on. We are the ones in the present. We are the leaders of tomorrow. If we do not educate you or give you insights, like I said before in the debate, on what to do concerning these, then we are making decisions, but we're not making good and effective decisions. And so I hope that the minority is listening as the minority leader is looking, but he's not listening, but I mean, let us take note that a table has already been created. And in a realistic world, let us not beg or cry, but
summarize.
Thank you. But ask to be on a table that we deserve to be on. Thank you very much. I humbly submit.
All right, thank you. Minority bench.
I was beginning to wonder why just by standing up, the majority bench is shaking. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. Well, I am even shocked. Initially, when we started the debate, I had a little hope that the majority would learn. You would come with open heart to learn. But just listening to the honorable member who just spoke before I got here, that hope is shredded. And she started by saying that the table is already created. And so we have to get a seat at that table. It makes me wonder, what sort of innovation then you are talking about? It makes me wonder what sort of creativity that you have. If your mindset and mentality already at this point has to do with the fact that the table is already created, and so I just need to go and get a seat and sit there and make a decision. It makes me look at it from, and I wonder so much what sort of myopic thinking that could be. And I am thinking, we are the young people of the day who says that we are very creative, we are creative. Yet, you are here telling that you have to get a seat at a table that is already created. Disputing the fact that I am saying that you can create your own tables. And I can give you several examples of young individuals who took greater initiatives into themselves personally. And by doing so, they have seats where they cannot even believe.
There is a point of correction.
Is deceiving the House. The honorable minority leader cannot describe our idea as myopic. He must withdraw that statement he made. He must withdraw. Withdraw it now.
Honorable member.
Mr. Speaker, just before you give your verdict on this, he stood up to come here to correct me. The statement he made is, I am deviating from the motion. And the deviation has to do with the fact that I use the word myopic. When we say myopic, what does it mean? If I use the word short-sightedness, would you ask me to withdraw? So you cannot blame me for your lack of vocabulary and limited one at that. You can't blame me for it. If I use the word short-sightedness, would you ask me to withdraw? If I use the word reckless thinking, would you ask me to withdraw? Myopic means you are not able to foresee into the future. You are not able to think outside the box. If I had said that, would you have asked me to withdraw? So don't blame me. Don't blame me if your vocabulary is limited. But at this point, Mr. Speaker, I'd like you to give your verdict on this before I proceed. But left to me, the point she made is still myopic in my understanding to say that because the table is already created, you just want to sit at that table, meaning you can't do anything. Because the reason for which I said that you can create your own tables, and so the already existing tables, you should forget about that. Stop crying for it. Create your own. And you come here to say that because the table is already created, you don't want to create anything. That means you're myopic. That's my point. So, Mr. Speaker, you can run your verdict on this.
Honorable member. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It's rather unfortunate that the minority leader wants to throw dust in our eyes. When you look at myopia, what is it? It is an eyesight defect. It is an abnormality. It is a disorder. And so if you describe submissions being made by a fellow honorable member as a defect, as an abnormality, as a disorder, we are in the right to tell you to retract and find better ways to describe what you are saying. You can say that we are not seeing further. You can use synonyms or other words. You cannot describe submissions made by a fellow honorable member as myopic when that is used to describe people with eyesight disorders. It is never done anywhere, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I am disappointed. I wonder why you keep allowing them to come up here and make and disgrace themselves.
Deputy Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, you know what the majority side is trying to do? Because they realize that they are going to the down lane of the debate, they are trying to shift all our attention to the myopia thing. And that is very, very wrong. You realize that you are going down, we are defeating you gradually. So you also want to change our attention and then push it to a different side. That is very, very bad. Mr. Speaker, what we are saying is that the debate has been already established. The young people can only be given the opportunity when they've built themselves. If you do not build yourself, you don't expect any opportunity to be given to you. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, just to add, just permit me, because she came at me, so. She said I used the word myopia, and she came to give the definition of myopia in science. Mr. Speaker, I thought literature was compulsory at our basic education, and that tells you that a word is not understood out of context, it is understood per where it is used. And so you don't come here and tell me that because I use the word myopic, I am referring to a disease. That is so intellectually bankrupt display of intelligence and insulting the intelligence of this house, and I cannot take it, Mr. Speaker. In fact, let me just conclude finally. She came up here and said, Mr. Speaker, just finally, she came up here and said, I could have used other synonyms. You don't understand synonyms. Synonyms means that I am referring to the same thing just in other words. So if you can take synonyms, you can't take myopia. I am so disappointed. Majority Leader, you have a lot of English tutorials to do for your people.
Minority Leader, when you see the word myopic here, it's not just the mere meaning, which is a medical term. This is a phrase you've used, and that has to, like, you are attacking someone's mental capability. So I will kindly want you to retract that statement and use a better word.
Thank you very much, the wisest chair. I am always guided by your wisdom. Only that I mentioned, every English teacher knows. And if you go to any English teacher and you ask the English teacher, can you explain this word to me? And you give the teacher a word, myopia or myopic. The English teacher will tell you that put it in a sentence because words are understood in context. Look, I studied English, I studied literature, so I know what I am talking about. And so if the majority cannot understand, and based on their ignorance, and you want us to proceed because they are really not willing to even shield their ignorance and learn, and you ask me to withdraw, I humbly withdraw, and I want to proceed. But to say
Thank you. Thank you.
To say that coming up here to tell me that because the table is already created, you are asking for a seat at that table, is a great short-sighted move. All right? I didn't use myopia, did I? All right. All right, let me go on with my... And she came up... Yes, just to summarize. She says that... She says that we are not crying. Well, that's also another English lesson. Let me leave that. But, Mr. Speaker, our point is that when they are talking about the table, I am struggling to understand what they mean by the table. I can't understand it. They should be able to tell us what the table that they say is already created.
Member,
where is it? Who created it? Where can we find it? That way we can have an intelligent debate. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Minority Leader. Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Before I became the executive director, I was the MP for Asante Mampong.
Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Honorable Herbert Apietu Dankwa, and I'm in the majority caucus. So I would like to state one thing here. The fact that we are here talking about literature, myopic, and all that doesn't mean that what he is saying is right. We just want to entertain his audience. But one thing he should be clear about is that in politics, heckling is allowed. So when you make a statement and your people want you to retract it, it is out of respect and reverence that you should do so. But one thing that I would like to fundamentally correct is that in debates, when you make a point, you try to bring out the framework. The framework would equally encapsulate how that statement you are trying to make or that point you are trying to bring out connect to the statement you've given. This is the situation the minority caucus has given us a lot of explanations, and it is very simple that the room that is being created or the platform shouldn't be given to the youth because they should first focus on developing themselves before they come in for that. But they've not been able to tell us how the youth should develop themselves to fill those tables. We are in a dispensation whereby opportunities is very narrow and very, very limited to a few. And that has been the status quo since time immemorial. Mr. Speaker, when was the last time that you had the chance to go to Parliament to give your opinion on an idea or an initiative that has been coming up or that has been already established? It used not to be same, but it has changed these days. Being on the table does not necessarily mean that you being at the front seat. Being at the table can be from every level that you are. It can be in the school, whereby you are given an opportunity to participate, even in a questionnaire. Share your ideas, share your opinion to shape public policies. All these are the opportunities that translate into getting to the ultimate. But it seems they've limited their debate to getting to the ultimate to be able to make decisions. But decision making is in various levels. We are here having discourses about diplomacy, building ourselves. We are all being given the opportunity. So I want them to first teach us how young people should be able to develop themselves so that they'll be able to have that opportunity to go to that particular table that they are talking about. Until they do that, the majority caucus is no way accepting that they are winning the debate. And Mr. Speaker, just to be frank, and we are guided, they don't stand the chance to win the debate. But our message is very clear. Give enough avenues to young people to express their views, express their opinions about governance, bring out their initiatives, support their ideas until they get to the point that they will be able to sit at the front head to be able to shape the affairs of the nation and the continent at large. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you. Before that, this Honorable Member showed up. Minority Leader, you're on your feet. Honorable Member, the Honorable Member that just left is from your caucus. Look, Honorable Member, then move to this side of the house, the right-hand side. Because I saw you coming from your caucus, so that's why I have to pick some. Okay. Honorable Member, which side do you belong? Honorable Member. All right, Honorable Member, kindly join the right side of the house. Yeah, kindly join this side of the house. But since this Honorable Member is already here, let's present herself. All right, thank you, Honorable Member. Kindly introduce yourself and then present your point.
Good afternoon. My name is Vicentia Loveland Vebega. I've been part of UN Youth since 2019. Okay, I'm representing Keta constituency. Okay, I just want to put the minority leader at the right path. I just want to give him something small. I just want to give him some statement. The youth understand the youth. An adult can fully understand youth. Struggle like unemployment, peer pressure, teenage pregnancy, and mental health. From social media, only the youth can articulate their own pain and propose real solutions. Peer pressure.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Hello?
Okay, Mr. Speaker, the honorable member from the majority side. Unacceptable, we cannot condone it. And so this is unable to debate without, I don't see the answer. And it's not a statement he's making. This is debate. So it's not debate of the things exactly. I'm not necessarily looking for the photo. Reading everything. Which I can't speak up. It's not the reason. Cannot be really debate. I think.
Honorable.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right,
I am
you,
Jones Amegashie-Viglo. Mr. Speaker, I cannot allow the minority leader to mislead this honorable house. The minority leader is in the known that a member may seek the leave of the speaker to refer to a material or a document. And I believe that is what the honorable member is doing. I agree with the fact that you shall debate without reading, but reference to documents is fully allowed, and it is per our procedures and standing orders. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Honorable
Thank you,
Jones.
Majority Leader.
Hello, Honorable Minority Leader. References is allowed. Data backing your topic or your statement with research is allowed. The honorable member probably did the research on the motion, and that's what she's referring us to. All right, thank you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity again. But you heard me say that I saw her, and for close to about 45 seconds, I said she was looking on her phone, reading verbatim. I'm not saying she shouldn't refer, and I mentioned that earlier, that she can refer. That is not what I am against. But I said she was reading verbatim. Your side is facing her, so actually you shouldn't debate me on this one. I am watching her closely. So I am not against references. I am not against that, but I am against reading verbatim. And Mr. Speaker, this one, I will just plead that you monitor. Because if she reads verbatim, I'll stand up.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I don't know why the minority leader want to attack a member on the floor. Because he is not done reading a reference. And you are attacking him, you are attacking her because she is reading. The reference, allow her to finish reading the reference. If it is a quote, allow her to finish the quote that she is reading. When she is done, then you can say, oh, okay.
All right, well understood.
Thank
Honorable
you.
Member.
Thank you.
Member.
Speaker, we were here and the House tried to, the minority caucus or the bench, they tried to throw a lot of dust into our eyes. Of course, we've received it. Our eyes are itching. Now we are trying to correct them. We've thrown it back to them. They should come and give us how. We've given you a burden to come and achieve. This is the situation you are trying to run away by distracting the honorable member on the floor. This is totally unacceptable, Mr. Speaker. I do believe out of your discretion, you should allow the honorable member to speak. We can't tolerate this anymore, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you. Honorable
Mr. Speaker, I will not fault you at all for allowing
This is the last
a
statement
member
that I
on
said
the floor,
I'll
a
read
member from the
my
majority, to speak when a leader of the House was standing. Well, you can play the politics of I didn't catch your eye, but that's okay. But what I want to say is that I think English is disturbing us in this because expect the majority, not us, of course. Because if you say she's quoting something, she should have made us understand. Every person knows that if you are quoting something, you will tell us that you are quoting. This is a quote. She's not quoting anything. She is reading. I said she is reading. You don't want to agree to that. She is reading. She shouldn't read, Mr. Speaker. That's all. She shouldn't read. If she reads, I'll stand up and I'll stop her, Mr. Speaker. I will interfere. She shouldn't read. She should just debate.
Right, well understood.
And we didn't throw any dust into their eyes. If their eyes are itchy, we have glasses for them.
Minority leader. All right. It's okay. Now, the point is, when you come with a research work, you read and draw conclusion on your research work. Probably she's reading the research. When she's done, let's see how she's going to conclude. How she's going to land will tell us whether she was reading or she was referring us to a research that she has done somewhere. So let her land, okay? Honorable member, continue.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me say this. Elders, they are let me say, before you become an elder, you start from the youth age. No, you can't become a president once you did not become assembly member before. So, elders, they think they have wisdom, but before they get the wisdom, they started from a youth age. And then they bring wisdom. And then you strengthen from eviction. The way we, the youth, we think is far ahead than the elders. When you go to hospital today, you realize that those people in the olden days that they were medical doctors, they did not use the technology. But the era today is the youth. That is why that we, the majority members, have come together to tell you that the right people to be on the decision table to be the youth. Because an elderly man who is having a pot belly, who is having a lot of family, how is he going to think to know that there is somebody somewhere who does not have amenities, facilities like toilets, water? People are suffering. If you go to some communities, they don't have a public toilet. Those are the things that the elders to think about. If you go to some communities, they don't have schools. But we, the youth, we can stand as ambassadors for the UN. We can stand and advocate and tell the elders, maybe the president, we can invite the ministers or write appeal to them to let them know that we, the youth, must be on the decision table. So they should allow the youth to participate as the president of Ghana. It shouldn't be like if you are 40 or 35. No, you can be 25 and become a president. Look at Honorable Edem Agbana, Eric. Look at what this guy is doing. This guy is doing the right thing. Look at Honorable Sami Jenfi. Take a look at all these people. Look at Honorable Zenato. They are all youths. You see? But when you take a look at the government or go to the parliament house, you realize that the youths are fused. And when it comes to the decision table, for them to think ahead and go into
Honorable
deep
member, kindly
and
summarize.
for them to bring a decision that matters, things that are bothering the people, the illiterate, people that exercise their franchise for them before they are the parliament house, the elderly ones are not doing anything. When you go, you see them sleeping. But it's only the people like Edem Agbana, they are standing. So I come and agree that we, the youth, must be on the decision table. Mr. Speaker, thank you. And thank you to majority leader.
Thank you. But before you assume your seat, kindly retract the word you described the elderly people, pot belly. Pot belly has nothing to do with age. We have young men who also has pot belly. So kindly
I retract my
all right, thank you. Kindly resume your seat. So Minority leader. So have you seen that she landed well? So mostly let's allow them land, then we know what. Now, minority bench. Let's have a lady from minority. Seems you don't have ladies speaking. A lady from minority. Gender equality, Jesse. If not, our city will not be Jesse.
Thank you, Speaker. My name is Irene Swaneka, MP Efutu constituency. I'm actually overwhelmed by how the majority is actually responding to this motion. And I would want to first talk about the table. I want to ask a question. This table, before even I answer your question on how to create the table, this table you want to sit at, I'm sure most of you have already said the table is not good. So if it's malfunctioning, why do you want to come and sit at the table? I think you have to come and answer that. You want to think about how to create a table. Okay. You are talking about innovation. If you are innovative, most of the people who have this great table didn't just come. Innovation comes with network. So if you have the idea and you are networking rightly, you are not building the table alone. You are building the table with people on the table. So how are you asking to come and sit at my build table when I had my network to also build my table? So please, let's look at that. I want to talk about probably just two things and then okay. I'm not going to read. I won't read for you because my first 2 points didn't even come from the phone I have. So don't say I'm reading for you. I'm not going to read for you. I actually wanted to look at a bit of statistics, and that will require that I look at numbers. Okay. Okay, so I was looking at a statistic that said, You've taken it. You've taken it. Okay. So I was saying we have about worldwide, most of our leaders, we have 96%, I stand to be corrected, leaders who are over 35 years, presidents who are over 35 years. Are you telling me, okay. Are you telling me, I know there is a current debate going on with regards to aid and presidency in the world, and probably even in Ghana as we sit.
Right, Honorable Speaker, how can you tell us that you are reading from a source? First of all, you didn't even quote the source. You didn't give us the source where you are quoting it from. It could even be from a message that you got whilst you were coming. Then you also said that something that you said you are quoting, you said you stand to be corrected.
Kindly pause. We have an announcement for that.
Okay.
Please, this is out of today's session. The food we have is kinky. We hope everyone can take kinky. You are all kinky boys and girls, right? If you cannot, please inform us so that we don't get it for you. Please, if you cannot, just inform the youth president and then you don't take kinky. Who else? You don't take kinky. You don't take kinky. You don't take kinky. Okay. That's the only food available. Oh. Okay. No alternative. It's only kinky that is available. So we should bring it here. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Majority leader.
So I was saying something that how can you tell us that you are reading from a source and you are saying that you stand to be corrected? You say you are reading from a source. You have a reference. And we're saying
even
you are
complete-
stamped to be corrected. How? Why do you want to mislead the House?
Well understood.
Thank you.
Majority leader. Honorable member.
Let's make it established.
Okay, minority leader.
Oh, Mr. Speaker. Oh, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm disappointed. Look, who says that if you are quoting something from somewhere, you have to tell the source before you finish? Who says that? There is no rule like that. The only thing we cannot condone is when we see you referring to something, yet you didn't tell us that. No, Mr. Speaker, just a minute. Let me finish. Let me just finish in 1 minute.
I heard him.
No, let me just finish in 1 minute. He says that she didn't quote the source. And I'm saying that, where is it? You can finish and tell us the source of what you have. There is no parliamentary convention
well
or under. Yes,
well
so if that is understood, the second point he made is that why is she saying that I stand corrected? I am a researcher. Everybody who has gone to the university should have done a bit of research. I am doing research at advanced level. And you know that you can have a paper, yet there is another paper subsequently coming that outdates this thing. And so if you have a fresh knowledge, you can use it. But what she has is what she is bringing. Maybe she has not seen what you have because some of the papers you have to pay. Maybe she doesn't have money to pay for it. And she brought what she has. If you have a better one, bring it.
Well,
so why are you making this about this? So, Mr. Speaker, his point of order is baseless and it's derailing. We can't take it.
Resume your seat. Marshall, you have... Okay, you want to be... Okay. I find it... Hello? I heard what Majority Leader said and heard what you also said. But I want to confirm that from the speaker, then I pass my... Did you actually said that you stand to be corrected?
I said...
I didn't ask you a question.
Okay,
it
came before... Yes, but it came before a statement. It came when I made mention of a figure. It was because of the figure I said I stand to be corrected.
But
It's a figure that needs to be...
the
figure changes. Figure
Majority
changes.
Leader.
So you can't say because I said I stand...
The figure, was it from a source you are reading it from?
Yes. Okay, I said I was coming to read from a source.
So you don't use
I
that
didn't even
statement
complete
because
anything. I didn't complete anything. I started the reading.
You don't trust the source you are reading from. So
no, I do. I do.
So you don't say you stand to be correct. Once you are stating it from a source,
okay,
you don't use
Mr.
that.
Speaker, with all the brouhaha they are making, let me move on and just make the point without... We will come back with the figures.
So the point is that the statement she made that she stands to be corrected is maybe a slip of tongue. So far as she's reading from a source, a trusted source, then it's accepted.
Okay.
So continue.
Okay.
Continue.
So
resume your seat.
I want to make a point on the fact that decision making is a risk-taking venture. It's dangerous to take decisions, and decisions comes with consequences. How do we say we are allowing young people who don't have experience, who don't understand the consequences and the responsibility that comes with decision making to come to the table and come and take decisions? Are we saying we are going to allow, like I made in my initial statement, during the main events, we are going to allow a nurse who understands basic nursing to come to the...
Kindly summarize.
To come to the directors board meeting and come and tell us decisions on, and take decisions on how management should run a hospital. I would end my statement from here.
All right, thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Akudugu. Hello. Honorable, do you still have the point? It's right. Okay. The floor is open.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker and the House. My name is Honorable Akudugu Smaila Feza, representing the good people of Boku Central, YMP, for this network. Yes, first of all, I want to comment on what our minority leader came up here and debated. I think they don't actually understand the topic in particular. The topic is that the youth must be allowed to take part in the decision-making table. You have to argue your points why the youth should not be allowed to take part in the decision-making table. But it seems you, the leader of the minority, and your caucus debaters were even debating for us, which is unfortunate on your part, but fortunate to us. We are saying that the youth are the majority of the population.
Honorable member, kindly summarize. We are running out of time. So.
The youth they form the majority of the population, and as such, they must not be neglected in the decision-making table. Again, we are also saying that the youth are with their colleague youths, and they understand their problems of unemployment, drug abuse, and other violences that they face in the society. As such, they will be able to cry out their pains loud on the decision-making table, and together they will suggest sustainable solutions that can help to solve their own problems. And as such, they should and must be allowed to participate in the decision-making table. When you reference to our society in Ghana, we have young leaders who are making extremely well. And my other debaters have even mentioned some of them. We have in the likes of Sami Jemfi leading the Go Board. We have Honorable Osman Ayaraga leading National Youth Authority. We have in the likes of Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu, Member of Parliament for Medina. In the global or African continent, we have our Burkina Faso President, Ibrahim Traore. They are all young people who are doing extremely well. And as said, they must be allowed to take part in the decision-making table. All these things, we are not saying that we should give them positions or allow them to take part in the creation of their future. We don't give people positions or allow them because of sympathy, because of their competence, because of their resilience. Let them be part of building their future. So our stand is that the youth must be allowed to take part in the decision-making table. Right, Honorable Speaker, I so submit. So the minority, they've lost the debate already. Lost the debate already. With all these points articulated from the majority side, we are convinced that the youth at all levels should be allowed to participate in decision-making table. I so submit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, we will take our concluding statement from minority bench. Concluding statement from minority. We are running out of time. So
Mr. Speaker, yes, I understand. But it won't be fair if you allowed, I'm guided by wisdom though, but you allowed more people from the majority side debate more than you did from here. That is not equal. You are preaching equality, you are preaching fairness, yet you are not being fair, Mr. Speaker. I drew your attention to it earlier, but so if you can just allow one last person from here before concluding remarks.
One person difference, Honorable Member, if I can remember.
One last
that
person.
Was when the Honorable Member came here.
So, Mr. Speaker, I'm just pleading one last member. One last member from minority. Member. Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, minority caucus.
Thank you for affording me the opportunity, Honorable Speaker. So, to follow protocol, I'm Joshua Smith from the Medina constituency. Now, on the motion, the motion states youth must be allowed at decision-making table. Now, Honorable Speaker, in today's session, our side of the House has shown you that the decision-making table is a table set as a platform for national decision-making. Now, this table does not place a ban on any group of people. When you use must in a statement as a command, it means that there must be a ban on a particular group of people for you to advocate that they must be a part of that. But, Honorable Speaker, we have proven to you that there is no ban on young people. And this point was even corroborated by the previous speaker from the majority side, when he listed a number of young people who are currently occupying leadership positions in our country. Now, Honorable Speaker, what this means to you then, what this shows you then is that the clamor for young people must be a part of decision making. It's a cry over spilled milk, because we have proven to you that this is not the time in America where the blacks were restricted from visiting certain places. So Martin Luther King Jr. and his colleagues had to advocate for that they must be part of those societies. This is not the current situations in our contemporary societies, Honorable Speaker. We've proven to you that the chances are there, the decision-making tables are there, and they belong not to young people, not to old people. Those tables belong to people who are prepared and willing and with the ability to contribute. And that is how it has been, and that is how it will remain. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable Member for Medina Constituency. So let's take concluding statement from minority side of the house. 2 minutes, Honorable Member.
All right, Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity one more time. It's been a very interesting debate, and we cannot but be grateful. And let us all understand that.
Did we refer to somebody?
Okay, Honorable Member, kindly retract. Kindly retract. Majority Leader, kindly retract. Majority Leader. Majority Leader, we are running out of time. Kindly retract. Let's move on. Even if it's your member that said you are the leader of the house, so you can still retract.
We understand the importance of peace. We understand.
All right, thank you, Majority Leader. Proceed.
All right. Thank you one more time, Mr. Speaker. Like I already said, it's been a very interesting debate, and we cannot but be grateful for each and everybody for being present. Mr. Speaker, this House actually must not confuse inclusion with competence. A seat at the table does not qualify to be a reward. It is actually a responsibility. Therefore, if you are going to fail people who are unprepared at the table, what does it do to us? To carry this very weight of responsibility, we are just gambling with the nation's future, Ghana's future as a whole. Therefore, what I, the Deputy Minority Leader, will implore all the majority members to do, together with the entire caucus, is that let us build youth capacity. First, let us elect on merit.
Kindly summarize.
Let us reject symbolism and choose substance. For the good of this very republic, we vote against the motion. I so submit. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Concluding statement from Majority Caucus. Minority Leader. Okay. All right, all right.
Oh, okay. Thank you, right?
2 minutes.
Honorable
2 minutes
Speaker.
for that.
Thank you. Right, Honorable Speaker, from the beginning of today's business to the conclusion, it is clearly known that the minority caucus did not even understand the whole topic that we debated today. Because the debate was that the youth must be allowed on the decision table. That is the debate. Which means that, first of all, there is a table. So why must you tell us that since our forefathers have fought and created a table, that we are all making decisions? Now you want us to throw away the good works of our forefathers and now come and create a new table while there is an existing table. So, first of all, they did not even understand the topic itself. The topic was that the youth must be allowed to sit on the decision table. So, decision table, the table is already there. The youth, when we are not also saying that they should just pick any other youth. It's supposed.
Honorable member, you've exhausted your time.
Oh, thank you. So, in conclusion, I want the whole House to agree and adopt the motion that, in fact, the youth must be allowed to sit at the decision table. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, before the question, I would like us to take statement from Chief Justice. Is he still here with us? The Chief Justice. Kindly give us your statements, if you have any, on the motion. All right.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. And I want to stand on all protocols. I think the topic...
Kindly introduce yourself.
I'm Foster Blankson, Amanpene, Chief Justice. Please, will you call the House to order, please, respectfully.
Honorable leaders, you've ended your debate. We are taking a statement from dignitaries. So that is the first person. So you are not part of the motion again. Let them make their statement, then I put the question. All right, you may proceed.
Thank you so much. So I think at the crux of the issue is young persons being involved in national development. And so I think that is the pit of the issue you are talking about. And so the issue as to whether they should be allowed or involved in decision making is something that we need to think through thoroughly. It's something that we need to evaluate on all levels, because to exclude the young person from decision making absolutely has its own demerits. And to include young people in every decision making, I believe so, will also have its merits and demerits. And so I would urge the House to consider these issues from the two sides. You cannot exclude the young person absolutely from decision making, because at the end of the day, like we say, democracy is a system of government by the people, for the people. So if it is for the young person, why do you exclude this young person absolutely from the decision making? And we also don't want to underrate the import of experience, because experience, they say, is the best teacher. So if we are talking about experience, we need the elderly to translate this experience into meaningful impacts. And with impact, it is not one thing that we can say because you are an elderly person, you are the only person who can make impact. History has shown that people have made impact at a very youthful age. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, when he came, he died at the age of 33. And at that same age, he left a legacy. And today, the whole world celebrates him as the Savior of the world. That is not to say that all young people will have this same capability. But all we want to put across is that
The role of the young person is vital. You cannot disregard it. You disregard it at your own peril because you are making decisions for this young person. You need to let the young person understand what it takes and what that decision means. And so I believe that with these few words, we will be able to come into a consensus that it is for us, it is for the young person. So we should try our best and involve them. And young persons must also accept that they cannot do it without the experience of the elderly. So it's a hand-go, hand-come situation. With these few words, I thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
All right, thank you, Mr. CJ. Now I will invite the former Speaker of this Honorable House and the current PA to the Global President, Mr. Jones Amegashie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I am Jones Amegashie-Viglo, and I'm very happy I handed over. Look at how competent your speaker is. I don't think I would have handled you any better than he's doing. What I would have done was to send Afejumakin Jr. out of the chamber. But apart from that, Mr. Speaker is doing well, and I want us to congratulate him for finally ascending to the chair after 4 years as Deputy Speaker at Youth Model Parliament and 2 in International Youth Network. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, on the motion, the truth remains that government scarcely considers young people in decision-making. Very few privileged youths who distinguish themselves are invited to the table. For instance, in the current government, Julius Anthony, the former NUC's General Secretary, having distinguished himself as a communicator for the ruling government, is now a presidential staffer. He's part of the Ghana, is it the one that Jifa Gunu is CEO? Ghana Digital, he's part of their board, and he is the spokesperson for the Ministry of Interior. It is because he has distinguished himself. I have many more youths who have been invited to the table because they distinguished themselves. But the issue is that they had to create the platform to sell their talent before they were invited. If they had not created the platform for themselves, unless it is godfathership that can bring them there. That is why you and I are here. We are here for one reason, to create the table and magnify our talent so that we can also be identified. Honestly, President Mahama is running one of the UFO cabinets, of which he stated none of his ministers is above 57 and none is younger than 32. I don't know. But the youth age is from 18 to 35. So the people within that bracket of the youth is still low. So I was very amazed some time ago. The prime minister of a particular country was within her 30s. The prime minister was within her 30s. And it would be nice to see youth holding positions. And the fact of the matter is that we have to be ready for the opportunity. If we do not train ourselves like what Madam has given to us, if this opportunity is not created for us to show our talent and be identified as potential office holders, that opportunity will not be given because very few of us are able to do this Godfather, God-son thing. It is something that scarcely happens. So it is using this opportunity to project yourself that lands you in some of these opportunities and positions. Like I myself, I've had opportunity to adult myself from a platform I equally headed. And that is how come I'm being known about. So if you equally don't harness the opportunities that are available, you also not get to be known. Like my brother, the minority leader, is currently a news broadcaster at I don't know which, please? 2470 News, right? Please follow him. He's doing very well. He's doing very well. And from that, who knows? he might become the replacement for Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofosu as government spokesperson because his communication is nothing to joke about. Yeah, so we all have talents. And in doing so, it's also harnessing the digital opportunity we have. If I ask you, do you have a vibrant social media handle? You'll be raising questions whether indeed you know what a social media is. Some of you don't even have Facebook accounts before you have Instagram. So you are not able to project yourself. Please, I want to call on you, social media handles if you don't have, because it is an opportunity for you to also sell yourself, because someone needs to know what you are doing in order to recommend you. And the fact of the matter is that the people will be on their phones, and through your social media, you'll be identified. I've been seeing this guy who he has been posting and he has been speaking in this youth parliament. Identify you. So please create your social media handles and equally sell yourself, because the platform is here and someone has to see up and the recordings. After this recording is being published, start your side and upload. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now we will invite the global president to give us a statement on the motion.
Please allow me to stand in for the global president.
All right.
Our mommy just want to say thank you to all of you who have taken your time to experience this program. It gladdens her heart when you patronize her efforts. It means she's indeed touching lives. So she's very happy that you have all come. And she wants to encourage you all to harness the opportunities. Very soon, admission will be open for the training center. Please sign up when the opportunity is open and build your capacity. On that note, she wishes you, after this, the program ends, so she wishes you the best of stay, safe journeys to those of you traveling from afar and going from afar. And then that's all. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Before I put the question, I want to say that the table that all of you are talking about, who created and who didn't create it, who should be invited on it and who shouldn't be allowed on it. This is the table that have just been created. The global president has created a table. There are a lot of these type of tables everywhere. And you have one. You and I have one today. You don't need to be in the Parliament House of Ghana before you make decisions that will affect or impact our society. I can tell you that what we are doing here is making impact. I have a testimony in this house, second Parliament, a testimony. And I also have a testimony when I was with Youth Model Parliament. So I will start with Youth Model Parliament. When I finish, then I'll tell you the testimony that this table created during the second Parliament. Remember, you know that those that are familiar with the senior high school system in Ghana currently will bear with me that science students don't do integrated science again. I hope you are aware. At first, science students do chemistry, they do biology, they do physics, and still do integrated science. My time at Youth Model Parliament, our education committee, which I was the chairperson, we analyzed the education system of Ghana. You were one of the correct. We used the Finland system, education system as a yardstick, and we concluded that there are some subjects that are just putting burden on our students, causing repetition and stressing them. And integrated science is one, because why would somebody do chemistry, biology, physics, and still do integrated science, which is at the basis of all these three? So it should be removed, and it has been done. So that is the table that was created for us, and we should utilize it. Now let me talk about the second parliament of this network. Last year, we met at the National Theatre, and our motion was that they should put a cap on the presidential listing. And this is a year today. Presidential aid has been reduced in Ghana from 40 to 35. We proposed 30, but the president decided to cut maybe the medium or average of it, and that's 35. So this is the table Madam has created. Let's make use of it. Now, a question, I would like to put the question. The question is, this house, this honorable house, do believe that young people must be allowed on decision-making table? As many as that are in favor, say aye. As many that are against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. Okay. Closing remarks. Yes. Okay. Honorable members. All right.
Thank you very much, the wisest chair. Even though you have given your ruling, I just want to plead. I don't think you heard the voice vote well. I just want to plead that this decision be made by head count. I thank you very much. Right, Honorable Speaker.
By head count. Okay. As many as are in support of the motion, say aye. Raise up your hand. Or stand up. Be on your feet if you are for the motion. At the clerk's table, can you help me count them? If you are in favor, be on your feet.